right now, Donald Trump is still out there trying to convince the public via Twitter that he, in fact, won the election. Twitter is doing a very poor job with their little disclaimers like, no, you didn't. But he's also still filing these lawsuits in court trying to overturn the results of the election. And according to reports, according to the judges overseeing these cases, they're making claims that simply don't hold up. So far, 18 different lawsuits have been filed by the Trump campaign in courts, state courts, a couple federal courts. So far, nearly all of them have been tossed out. Only, I think, one has been allowed to continue, and that wasn't even like a serious issue. It was just something that needed further explanation, so that's why it's allowed to go on a little more. But that one won't overturn the results of any states. In a couple of states, including Pennsylvania, Trump has scaled back the requests of his lawsuits, which means that even if they were successful, it wouldn't overturn the results of the state, which means Biden wins regardless. But the judges are starting to get angry because, after all, the judges have to hear the cases, at least to a degree. They don't have to have a full-blown trial about it, but they have to devote some of their time to it to determine if there's anything to it. And both Republican and Democratic appointed judges who are overseeing these cases are getting furious about the fact that none of them are based on evidence. There's some amazing quotes in here from some of the judges. One of them asked in court before ruling against Trump said, "At what point does this get ridiculous?" We've seen numerous instances where affidavits have been filed and then later they get revoked, so they get unfiled, and that's pissing off the judges. You have one judge in Pennsylvania. I have to read this. This is from ABC News. It says, in Pennsylvania, Trump's lawyers had suggested their poll observers had been shut out of the locations where ballots were being counted. We've heard Trump make that claim in press conferences. We've seen him make it on Twitter. So when the lawyers acknowledged that the observers had, in fact, been permitted within 15 feet of the poll workers, U.S. District Judge Paul Diamond, appointed by then-President George W. Bush, appeared baffled. "I'm sorry, then what's your problem?" Diamond chirped. So Trump's lawyers go into court and say, hey, listen, we got the lawsuit here because our poll workers weren't allowed to go observe the ballot process. We're supposed to be allowed to do that. They weren't allowed in. Except, Judge, they were actually allowed in and they did observe. And the judge is literally sitting there saying, then why are we here? Why am I doing this? Why am I wasting my time? Why are you wasting my time? Like these lawyers, the ones that are left, because again, a lot of lawyers have already backed out of this and it's now up to Rudy Giuliani. They're going to face disciplinary action in their states. They could easily lose their license for filing lawsuits that they know are fraudulent. That's a thing that happens. So they're going to be in trouble. And Trump's lawsuits have no way to go anywhere. But furthermore, we just blew it all wide open, right? Trump's biggest claim right now that he's tweeting out nonstop every day is that his people, his Republicans, were not allowed to observe the votes being counted. And right here, his own lawyers admitted in court that that is a lie and that they were allowed in there. You have another instance right here. Which state is this one? Michigan too, where they went to court and said our poll observers weren't allowed in there, except they were allowed in there, but they couldn't get closer than 20 feet because of the COVID protocols. And the judge says, yeah, that's the rule. Like, why are you challenging something that you know is the way it is? It's all fraudulent. It's all a lie, and Trump knows it. The only reason he's saying these things and filing these lawsuits is to drum up his low information base. That's the bottom line. If you think this election was stolen, then you're disagreeing with what Trump and his lawyers are saying behind closed doors. If you think that Democrats rigged this, or that Trump's people weren't allowed to observe, or that the voting machine somehow switched votes to Democrats, please understand, Republicans, you're the only ones who think that. Even Donald Trump and his legal team have admitted in court filings that that is not what happened.